if you haven't already got it, then definitely get it right now, because we're gonna start out of nowhere. All right, let's get started. Beautiful song, beautiful standard. Great one to have in your repertoire. Let's analyze the chords first. We're in the key of G, we've got G major 7. Now, if many of you know now my method, I like to kind of play the chord, then I play the melody. It's very important that you connect both the chord and the melody. You can play it low, play it high, just try different ways. Chord melody. By the way, I do have a chord melody of this arrangement on Patreon if you want to grab it. You just have to search for it. I'll post it again. There's a sound slice practice video with it too. Okay, beautiful melody. I guess I'm talking about both. We're analyzing both the chords and the melody. We'll go through it simultaneously through that. That's a nice way to do it. That way you really learn the song by looking at both the melody and the chords. What came first, the melody or the chords? It's interesting to think about sometimes. So on a G major 7, the 1 chord, we're in the key of G. The melody starts on the 5th degree, and it does this melodic cell, this digit cell, 1, 2, 3, 5, which is pentatonic, right? Part of the pentatonic. But which pentatonic? Feel free to type in the chat too and chime in. Which major pentatonic would that be from? Which cell is this from? It's a 4-note cell, very popular pattern. Very, very important to know that. That's used quite a bit. John Coltrane used that quite a bit in his Giant Step solo, for example. That's 1, 2, 3, 5. On a G major, this is a great hack, by the way, soloing hack. On the 5th degree, you can do that major penta. That's D, E, F sharp, A. And then if you add the B, the 6th, that's the 3rd of the G. So this is a great soloing hack. On the 5th degree, play a major penta. And what that gives us is G major with the 9, 6, 9. So it's a D7, D is the 5th, E is the 6th, F sharp is the major 7, and then A is the 9. So it's just beautiful extended colors. Just soak that in for a second, all right? Okay, that's a G major 7 with the 6. I'll do it like this. Or the 6, 9. Beautiful. And the trick that I usually think, because I'm a big minor pentatonic person, probably like most of you are, who kind of learn blues or rock first. I'm thinking B minor penta. I mean, it's D major penta, and it starts on D, but you can just play B minor penta and D major. They're equivalent, okay? So if you don't know this hack, this trick, 3 frets is the magic number. D major is higher because it's happy. Major is happy, and B minor is sad. It's down 3 frets. I'm just being pretty general about this here. This is my little way of remembering this stuff. So D major, B minor. That's all about the relative major and relative minor. Because I know many of you know the number, you say 3 frets, but then you forget which direction to go. Just remember, major's happy, minor sad, down. Okay, major's up, down 3. Minor, okay? So, let's go on. You came to me from out of nowhere. Now, in the root, same notes. B flat minor 7. E flat 7. Well, E flat 9. 2, 5. Which 2, 5? What key is that in? B flat minor? That's not in the key of G major. E flat 7? That's not in the key of either, right? You all know this song? Right? See that same movement there? It's in nuage too. B flat minor 7, E flat 7. So in this case, right there. That's basically just a half step higher key. We're in the key of A flat major. Okay, it's just a little side slip there. It's beautiful it's a modulation though, okay? But when I'm soloing on nuage, I'm often saying, think of it as E flat 7 going to D7 to G major. So it's like a flat 6, which is a bluesier sound. And I like different soloing concepts with that. We'll talk later about this. But this one, you can kind of just pretend you're modulating up a half step and doing a 2-5. Okay, so you're in the key of A flat for those 2 bars. B flat minor 7, E flat 7. So here are the first 4 bars of Out of Nowhere. B flat minor 7, E flat 7. Again, you came to me from out of nowhere. And notice I said E flat 7, but I'm playing E flat 9. And again, that's because of the melody note. The melody from the G major 7 goes like this. Then it hangs on the 5th degree of the B flat minor, and then the 9th degree of the E flat 9. Now, why is that important? Why bring out the chord flavor of the 9? Well, you want to know that stuff for your soloing, because do you want to do a flat 9? I don't. I want to bring out the melody. So when I'm soloing, I want this. I want that 9th vibe, not a flat 9. Meaning I would not do the diminished substitution. I would kind of keep my soloing a little bit more inside to that flavor. And that's why it's important to know how the melody relates to the chord. To me, I want to try to be true to the melody a little bit when I'm soloing, to reference the melody. I don't always just want to default because I see a dominant chord, I want to play diminished run. I want to again know the melody note. And the natural 9 is a sweeter flavor. So you could be thinking on an E flat 9, you could be thinking G minor 7 flat 5. That's a good way to think of it, or B flat minor 6. I do like the sharp 11. So you can add all these nice Django-y licks, and that's G half dim down here. And that gives you the 9, because E flat 9 has G minor 7 flat 5 in it, which is also B flat minor 6. Okay, so give that a try with me. Here we go. G major 7. You came to me from out of nowhere. See that? Let's do that again. Notice what I'm doing here. I'm always talking about this every lesson. It's hard for me not to do it because I love voice leading and inner voice movement. 7 to the 6. When we have a major 7 chord for either 1 bar or in this case 2 bars, then yeah, it's really nice to add some sort of voice leading. You can, even though it's not written there, these nice da 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 da. These against this. Sometimes you want to sing and vocalize that so you get those inner voice leading. Let's go on. It goes back to G major. We're in the key of G, G major 7. Of course, like I said, you can add the 6th degree in if you want to create some inner voice leading. And then this time, the melody is the same. And then instead of this, we do this. We went to F sharp. And now the chord is not B flat minor 7, but it's B minor 7. The 3. Okay? So we're in the key of G, and this is a good idea again to know what the the chords in the key of G. We could do this for a second. This is a good thing to. I always do this with my private students, so let's have a little private session here, right? G major 7. These are chords diatonic to the key of G. Always be able to do this. A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7 to 4, D 7 to 5, E minor 7 to 6, F sharp half dim the 7. And just, this is a harmonized scale. Always be able to do that for any key, know those chords. That'll help you with your analysis too. So now we're on a B minor 7 to an E7. Sometimes people play flat 9. You'll hear that often. I like to do that too. But I start with B minor 7. I would not do a B minor 7 flat 5. You want this first, B minor 7, because that melody note has an F sharp. And then you can do E7 flat 9. I have no problem with that. Personally, I hear that voice leading to the E, A minor 7 here. Okay, the melody note is going to be on the E. Beautiful motif. Okay, but let's not go there yet. Let's do that measure 5. You have G major 7, G major 6 optional, B minor 7, E7 flat 9 if you want that. I like that flavor. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor 7. And the words are, and again, if you don't already have, if you're just tuning in, we're going over Out of Nowhere. I just thought I'd mention that. You can grab the free PDF for your educational purposes only. Okay. And we're at measure 5 here. I'm looking at the words too. You took my heart and found it free. You took my heart and found it free. Different people sing different lyrics. They'll modify it. But it's nice. To me, I know in the many years that I've been playing jazz and studying these songs that I find myself, especially as I get older, wanting to know the words. So I kind of make an effort to study it and learn these words. So I try to sing it, but keyword is try. But hey, just gotta have fun. The next part is wonderful dreams, wonderful schemes from nowhere. Wonderful. And then let's talk about this. We have A minor 7. You could do the old school Django approach and just eliminate the 2 chord and do A minor 7, E7, A minor 7, maybe A minor 6. Or you could put the 2-5 in, kind of a little bit more of a modern vibe, and I like that too. Notice the voice leading there, A minor 7, A minor 6. Again, that's such a common thing. Wonderful dreams, wonderful schemes from nowhere. Wonderful dreams, wonderful schemes out of nowhere. Or from nowhere. Sorry. And the melody says, wonderful dreams, wonderful schemes from nowhere. That's beautiful. 2-1. Scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs. We love that motif. 2-1. Who doesn't love that beautiful motif? So that's a nice motif. This is a very sweet motif as well. Is that nice? That flat 6. Okay, the flat 6. That's the unique aspect of this. This on the A minor. So you're gonna want to bring that up too. Then on the E7. So it's a really nice motif. Kind of reminds you of. But we have this. It's like a variation on Tico Tico. By the way, I have a full lesson on Patreon if you're into Tico Tico. I've got lessons on pretty much every every song in the world on Patreon. That's not true, but feels like it. So. And then 6. Okay. You guys got that part there? So A minor, which is a 2 of G in the big picture, then the 2-5 back to the A minor. Just call that a prolongation when you're just kind of hanging out in that region. A minor, E7. We love this. This is all swing and gypsy jazz right there. Ain't this? And then E flat 9. I love that again. There's that. E flat 9 comes back. So just like this at the beginning. Right here. Okay, so now it's here. And I like the sus there. I'll show you that too. And that's actually all in my chord melody arrangement that you can grab. The link is in the description if you want to get that. You can do that. So again, E flat 9, just like I mentioned from Django's Nuage, that flat 6 from the key that we're in. It's nice, kind of a bluesy feel there, right? But it's a standalone flavor. And this is the melody. And so the melody, the fact that it has an A natural is very important, okay? Because generally when you think of E flat 9, you would say, or E flat 7, you'd be like, oh, E flat is the 5 of, I'm gonna just ask you, quiz you. E flat is the 5 of what? You can type it in the chat there. What is E flat the 5th of? Because when you see a dominant chord, you want to pretty much instantly think about what is it the 5 of? That's not a bad thing to do. E flat is the 5 of A flat. But when you look at the melody in this case, thanks Tom, when you look at the melody in this case, there's an A natural. You don't want A flat. You're not going to play an A flat scale there. Well, I mean, not to say you couldn't, but again, that's not what the composer's thinking. The composer's thinking this vibe. That's a melodic minor scale off the 2, so it's B flat melodic minor. If you're thinking off the E flat 7, they call that the Lydian dominant scale, okay? But I just think B flat melodic minor. So again, instead of B flat Dorian, you would get B flat melodic minor. So the A flat, you get the A natural. Why? Because the melody is this. Because of the melody dictates that. So when you're soloing, my recommendation, of course, all of these live streams is just my recommendation, don't just default to A flat major because you see E flat 7, you're like, oh, that's the 5 of A flat. Actually go so far as to study what does the melody show you. And the melody is this. See that sharp 11? Very dreamy. And then the D7. So if you're not used to that, that's one of the uses of the melodic minor scale. Check out, I left the lesson on YouTube. It's still available if you're interested in more about the melodic minor. I talk about the most popular, the 3 most common uses of the melodic minor scale over a dominant chord, not just over a minor chord, but the melodic minor scale in jazz is often used on the dominant chord. 3 popular uses. This is one of them. I just say melodic minor on the 5th degree. Okay. So that's the one, if you're making notes here for soloing strategies, we're talking about how to bring out the flavor of the melody while you're soloing. That's, to me, very important when I'm soloing on a song, because I want to have it relate to the melody somehow. Not just, hey, I see E flat 7, I can do this and this, this, and that's true, but it's nice when it relates to the melody, and that's an approach and an aesthetic, and that's one thing that I like to do personally. is how to relate to the melody. Now on the D7, you can put A minor in front of it. You can even put tritone, A flat 7, make that a sharp 11 too, and then D7. You can do whatever you want. The root, the D, the 5th of the chord is the melody note, so you can do a lot of stuff like this. Or D7, and a tritone. I like that quite a bit. So let's do those first 8 bars, 16 bars of the song. We just got halfway through. It's really easy standard. I shouldn't say super easy, because you'll find as we're talking about here, when soloing on it, it's a little bit more complex once you dive deep. And that's why we're doing the analysis of both the chord and the melody. And I'm showing you even some chord melody stuff. This is all stuff that I would want to be thinking about when learning a new song in general, is how does the melody relate to the chords? That will obviously give you some soloing ideas and options, and kind of limit the palette, because you want to bring out the flavor of the melody. It'll give you some, that soloing chord melody gives you lots of good stuff. So 1, 2 from top, 3, 4. You came to me from out of Ready? Right here. There I chose to add some color to that dominant chord for 2 bars. I chose D9 sus4. You can think of it as an A minor 7 over D bass. I love that. Just the A minor 7 or A minor licks. And then I diminished it, but I also added the flat 9 and the flat 5 for color, tritones up. So if you want that vibe, that's an A flat triad on top of a D7 shell. Very beautiful. Does not affect the melody at all. Sounds nice to me. Let's go on. Here's the second part now. If you should go back to your nowhere. Okay. And by the way, if you don't already have it, if you didn't grab it, if you're just tuning in, we're going out of nowhere today. We're going out of nowhere. We're learning out of nowhere in Talking Shop. And grab the tabs in the description. You can also get my chord melody. The link is in the description, or if you're on Patreon, you can grab it. Don't forget to do this if you're enjoying these live streams. I appreciate it. I think tomorrow, in celebration of Chinese New Year, I'm half Chinese, by the way, we will do the old jazz novelty tune, Chinatown. Chinatown, my Chinatown, where the lights are low. And yeah, Django recorded that a couple times. Great old novelty song. So join me for that. I've got on Patreon for that, I have a chord melody. I've got a couple of etudes, really fun one is solo one. So I'll talk about that tomorrow. We're at measure 17. If you should go back to your nowhere, same stuff. Leaving me with a memory. Now the fancy part here. Here we go. We're gonna get a little bit exciting on the last 8 bars. Usually it's the last 8 bars of the song where all the excitement and the tricky part happens. I'll always wait. That's so sweet. That flat 6. Isn't that pretty? B half dim. Then the melody goes up. It's creeping up out of no. A minor. So we have this 2-5, and then 2 resolve. Dreamy. F9 sharp 11. You might say, ooh, at 9 sharp 11, melodic minor on the 5th. Okay, this just becomes little soloing hacks for you. You'll learn like, oh, when I have the 9th chord with the sharp 11, run the melodic minor off the 5th degree, okay? You can also just play C minor 6. For some old school style gypsy swingers, they might just do that. They might just go A minor 7, A minor, E7. Okay. So that's optional, or you could do both if you want to 2-5 it out. C minor, then the F7, sharp 11. And I keep saying it's nice to get that sharp 11 because that's the melody note, okay? The melody is nowhere. So the melody is always wait for your return out of nowhere. And then hoping you'll bring your love to me. That's a beautiful, sweet little motif there. If you think about just the melody of that kind of a scale sequence, and then a lead, and then a resolve. Lydian. Have fun with those ending chords always. That's where you can have a lot of fun. I always try to choose a cool ending or come up with something unique to the song. And the melody, you can do the night and day ending. Me. And to get that Lydian flavor, go down a half step and play the pentatonic scale minor. That's the trick. So the chords for that last part there, you could do a few different things I'll show you, but B minor 7, B flat dim 7, the flat 3 dim. Remember the flat 3 dim, I talk about this often in these sessions too. The flat 3 dim always goes to the 2. And I say, show me a time it doesn't, please. I want to see it. Of course, it's context driven. You have to know the situation, but it will go to the 2. Tritone. Night and day ending. That goes, when I say the night and day ending, if I say that to my band, they'll know to go straight to the sharp 4, the flat 5 of the key and walk it down chromatically. Lydian. So that's the ending there. Oh, you could go 3-6-2-5. You could be very diatonic or do a 2-5 chain like this. No problem. Turn around from the top. Let's play through it together. You could play the melody or the chords. Just a little practice, a little jam. Suss it out. The walking bass. We could do some alternate changes. Again. You came to me from out of nowhere. You took my heart and found it free. made every hour sweet as a flower for me. If you should go back to your door, 2-5, leaving me with a memory, I'll always wait for your return. I've known, well, hoping you'll bring your love to me. Ready for this? Maybe a little whole tone there. You know, soloing is really fun. So on this song, there's a lot of options. I think I said that this song's an easy song. It's an intermediate song, and it's definitely a level 2 song for soloing now that I'm thinking about it, because you want to catch these level 1 songs you can kind of get by just by playing like a minor pentatonic blues scale through the whole song if you needed to. I say need to. It doesn't really do the song justice, but you know, you can not have to think. In this case, we do want to think B minor penta. That brings out the flavor of the melody. B flat Dorian, or maybe the melodic minor on the B flat, G major, back to that pentatonic, and then turn it to A harmonic minor here, right here, and then A minor, A harmonic, A minor, D flat melodic minor, maybe just tritone 7. So there I was doing just some voice leading 2-5, super easy. This, that's just called guide tone voice leading. If you're thinking this, it's a good hack to get you through those 2-5s, and then you could do turn around 1-6-2-5. I'm just doing E minor penta, G major penta on the root. But again, I would prefer to think D major penta. It's going to be kind of a little bit more to the melody, and that B flat Dorian or melodic minor 2-5. You can play D flat major 7. If you want to do a lot of major 7 arpeggios a la Wes Montgomery, there's so many different soloing approaches. Definitely check out on Patreon. I've been posting a lot of my favorite soloing ideas and soloing strategies. So hey, thanks for joining me on this lesson. We'll see you tomorrow for Chinatown. We'll get into some older school swing, some gypsy jazz. I'll share with you some of my etude ideas as well. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Cheers.